Welcome to the HTMD user group event for the month of March, April. Sorry for that. So myself, Narendra Kumar. I'm I'm into the IT field for more than 13 years. So currently I'm working with my expertise lies on various MDM tools like Air Workspace One, Intune, JAMF. So currently I manage Android, iOS, Windows, as well as Mac OS devices. Also, I have experience on software packaging, cloud platform, Azure, and I write blog post every week for HTMD group. You might have seen a couple of my blogs, especially on mobile devices, Android and iOS devices. So, uh, welcome all to this session. And today I'm going to explain you guys about Android OS management using Intune. So, can we go? The agenda for this today for today's session is we will discuss slightly about what are the types of Android OS updates available. Google releases what are the kinds of updates Google releases, uh, and we discuss why we need to manage these updates. What is the requirement to manage these updates? Then we will discuss about managing the updates using Intune. How can we manage these updates, and what are the policies that can be that has to be configured to check these updates. Then we will discuss. We'll create a policy. We'll create a policy, and then we will discuss best practices, and the last we will have Q&A if you have any queries for that. So for the first slide, we will let's discuss about how many types of Android updates are. So Google generally releases two kinds of updates. One is a major updates, and the other one is a security updates. The major updates contains the it is like a version change. For example, Android 14 to 15, 15 to 16. The current Android version is 15, and 16 is due. It will be announced in the month of June or July, and it will be available for the Pixel device for first, and the rollout for the other further devices will depends on the OEMs. Similarly, Google releases security updates every month and quarterly as well. So, do with these security updates, there won't be any changes to UI. There will be minor improvements, bug fixes. There will be security patches and bug fixes which were identified during the last month, or any vulnerabilities. Those kinds of updates are available in the security updates. So these are a minor improvements. These updates contains a minor updates. Apart from this, Google also releases Google Play system updates. So with these updates, there won't be any changes to the OS. Okay, so majorly this will includes the Google Play services updates. So with these updates, Google try to update any minor firmware updates to the Android Core OS, or any security features or application related features, but that doesn't require any you need to, I mean, the user need to restore the device or anything. It just updates in the backend. The Google Play services will be updated in the backend, and those updates are called as a Google Play system updates. Now moving on to next, uh, why we need to manage the OS updates. See, generally, the Android is a open source. As we know, it is an Android open source, and more anyone can decode the OS. And even though there are security feature, it is a very open. People try to find a ways to get into your devices, steal your data. So if you are not updating your device is more prone to vulnerabilities and attacks over the internet. So usually to protect the your organization data, and to be compliant with the government regulations, you need to update your OS on regular basis. So why exactly we need to manage these updates? Because users tend to ignore this the OS, and they might ignore this one and they become lazy to update their devices. So in order to avoid those scenarios and make your organization compliant to the regulations and protect your corporate data on their devices, we need to manage these updates timely, or we need to force the devices to update to the versions on timely manner. So how can we manage? So with for managing the OS updates, Intune follows or uses the Android management API framework, where it provides you granular level of control over the OS updates. So you can control how the device should be behaved when there is an update for your available for your device. This currently, I mean, Intune supports are basically the Android API supports only the devices which are enrolled as a corporate devices. So there are three types of devices with three types of enrollments in which you can enroll the corporate devices. One is a corporate owned fully managed devices, which is nothing but COBO. COPE, which is nothing but corporate owned, personally enabled, where you will have personal space as well as a workspace, which is similar to BYOD, but you have more control over these kind of devices. The other one is COSU, corporate owned single use or full dedicated devices or kiosk devices. BYOD devices will not support, you cannot control the OS updates over the BYOD devices. So, in these three types of enrollment, corporate enrollment, you have full control over the device, and you can play with the updates, whether you want to postpone or do whatever you want to do. So, currently, uh, can we go to the next slide, please? How can we manage the OS updates using Intune? So, as I mentioned, Intune provides you granular level of managing these updates for the Android, but the entire OS updates again depends on OEM, which is nothing but the manufacturers. So, when they make available to your device, it depends on their plans. Currently, if you take example of Samsung, currently only the S25 devices are running on Android 15. Still S24 and S23 devices are yet to get the Android 15 update. So it entirely depends on the OEM to OEM when they are going to give you the updates based on their plan and everything. So yeah, I mean, contrary to to this iOS, we have a, uh, single manufacturer in the iOS section, Apple area. So that is the reason we have more control, like which OS can be installed on the device. But in case of Android, we cannot do that because it entirely depends on OEM to OEM. So we cannot allow or select a particular OS to be installed on that device. So instead of that, we can control how the device can behave, or what device can do when there is an update available for the device. So this can be achieved using the device restriction policy. So Intune gives you options of postponing the updates, automatically update the device, or update the device during the maintenance window. So let's discuss what are the three options we have. One is first option is automatic. When you set the policy to automatic, the devices will update their device, the OS automatically without the user intervention. Which means when as soon as the device gets the OS update, it will update their devices without the user intervention. Next, postpone. So when we set the policy to a postpone, it will blocks the policy, or it will not allow you to install the updates for next 30 days. So this happens. This can be postponed only for the major OS like version changes or quarterly updates, but monthly patches will continue to. Device continue to update the monthly patches. So you cannot avoid the monthly patches, or you cannot block from installing the monthly patches. So if the user checks it manually, if the device has a monthly patch, then the device will automatically updates downloads the device, and if the user wish to update the device, they can update the device. The third option is maintenance window. So maintenance window is nothing but you will define a particular time, or as example, you want to allow the device to update their OS uh, during the off hours. So then you will define a maintenance window, which is like a 12 a.m. to 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. 4 a.m. So during that time, if the device gets an update, it will wait till that maintenance period. Once the maintenance period is triggered, the device will be automatically updates the device up, to the latest version. Now, let's say you may get a doubt that what if the device goes offline during that period? So it will check for the maintenance. It will try to update the device for next 30 days once the policy is assigned. And if the device gets an update, it will try to update the device for next 30 days. In for any reason, if the device is not able to update during that 30 days, then on the 31st day, the user will get a prompt to update their device. It will not automatically install the device update. Apart from this, Intune also supports freezing the updates, which means during this, when you set a freeze period, you will be blocking the OS updates, including the monthly patches for 90 days, for the period of maximum of 90 days. It can be a week, a month, but the maximum days you can have a freeze period is for 90 days. Especially this freeze period can be used when your users are going on vacation, or most of the employees takes leave for vacation, especially during the December period, where they don't want to update their device, or disturb their users with the updates. So we can have a multiple freeze period throughout the year, but the day time between these two uh, freeze period should be 60 days, minimum of 60 days. So let's say you finished one of the freeze period, which is ending on 24th of this 25th of April. From that day, from 25th to next 60 days, you cannot have another freeze starting. So after 60 days of the time, only then you can start another freeze period. So that's how we can configure multiple freeze freeze periods. So these are the various options Intune provides you to control the updates. Are you able to see my screen, right?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, perfect. So in order to configure the OS updates, we need to configure the device restrictions. So I'll go to Android, then create a configuration policies, device restriction configuration policy. So this is a Android enterprise free feature. So I'll select the Android enterprise. From there, I will select device restrictions. You can have the description. You can give whatever the description you want to have as a best practice. Always give us a change number, or mention the why you are creating this policy. The entire device restrictions are categorized into multiple categories. The OS updates are configured under general. So you can see I see device experience, device password related configurations or restrictions are under password device password. So similarly, various The Intune categorized all the device configuration or device restrictions into different categories. So for software updates, we need to click on general and then select look for system updates. So by default, the system updates have the device default value. So the default value is device default, which means if you have selected, if you have set the update software updates to automatically install, it will automatically install once the device update is available. Let's say if you deferred or if you don't want to install as soon as the updates are available, you have set a such type of a configuration on the device, it will not install the updates based on the device default value. Now, as we talked, we have three options here. One is automatic, the other one is postpone, third one is a maintenance window. So when I select the maintenance window, I'll get the start time and the end time. So I can choose whatever the end time should be. So for next 30 days, as soon as the OS updates for the OS available for the device, it will checks for next 30 days to update during this only this period. You it will not allow user to install manually, as well as it will not automatically install outside this window. If you choose the automatic, you will not get that option. You can also postpone the updates as well. So let's say we selected this maintenance window and the end time should be something like 4:30. So we can give a 4 hours or 5 hours of time. So now let's say uh, this is about the how you configure it. Now coming to freeze period. So as I mentioned, it is not mandatory to have a freeze period. Okay. So now in the freeze period, you will define the start date. It can be previous day or older date or new dates. So whatever the dates you want to configure. So let's say I will give 0501. This is fifth, and it's a MMDD format. It's a April, sorry, May 1st to I'll choose. Let's say I will give 12, 12. So if you see this one, you will not be allowed to have the freeze period for more longer than 90 days. So I can choose 10. No, even 10 is not possible. So I'll choose 8. Come on, 801. Even that is great. So I'll choose 7, 30, 29. Yeah. So exactly 90 days. If I try to configure another freeze period during this one, let's say you can. Mhm. So I guess this is giving a wrong value. Okay. Okay. 11. I will choose 10, 30. It's giving a wrong value, but ideally it doesn't support freeze period immediately. It should be a 60 days value. So you can, and then I will select this one. So after the freeze period ends, whatever the value I have set here, let's say if I set the system updates to device default, it will uh, act accordingly. Let's say if I set the device update to automatic, after the freeze period end, it will automatically updates the device. Let's say if I set a postpone, it will postpone for next 30 days. If it is a maintenance window, it will wait for the maintenance window and install during that maintenance window, which means after the freeze period ends, the system updates will act according to the value we set in the system updates. So I'll choose one thing. I'll click on next. If you have any scope tags, you can add a scope tags. Else, you can go to assignments, add it to the user groups, and then create the policy. I'll select one of the user group. We can create a device. We can assign it to the device group as well. So then I'll click on next, review and create. If you want to exclude any users groups, you can exclude certain groups. If you, for any reason you want to exclude them, you can exclude that and then create it. So this is the policy which we have created. The system updates is set to automatic and we have the freeze period of 90 days. Now, for time benefit, I have created, I used one of my test device, and when I forgot to give it to them. Vaishnav, can you present this one, this particular image? I'm going to share that one. I sent you an image, Vaishnav. Can you present that one?
Sure, sure.
So whenever after assigning the policy, whenever I try to update any OS, so it will give me that error. So I cannot go get into that system updates to check the updates. So software system software update is of this device is being controlled by your organization. So this is the error message. So user cannot update their device manually. At the same time, if your device is up to date, there are no updates available. They can it will check for the updates. Let's say if it finds there is an update, it will not allow you to install that updates. Okay. So coming to the best practices, can you present the slides?
Okay,
So
cool.
as a
Yeah,
best
thank you.
practice, it's always better to plan and strategize, plan and plan well ahead of your voice updates and communicate about the changes or voice updates which are being pushed. Let's say if you are setting the device to updates to automatic, it's always better to inform the user saying that the device will restart when as soon as these updates are available. So this information when the updates are available, when the updates will be available to the use devices, that can be get regarding to that updates, you can get the information from the SAM OEM vendors. If you have a good relation with the OEMs, they will share you when will be the updates available for your devices. So based on that, you can communicate with the users so that they won't get panicked if the device is getting restarted. Also, prior to pushing or prior to validating any OS, it's always better to join a beta program. Different OEMs have their own beta programs, so that you can enroll couple of our device, couple of accounts, and using that accounts, your device can be part of the beta program, and then you can install update the device to the beta 3 or beta 4 or whatever the OS you feel is apt for you. You can update the device and check all the enrollment, whether they are breaking, whether they are working as expected, and also you can validate applications. So few applications will crash when there is a OS update. So they may not be supporting the newer versions. So once you enroll to beta program, and if you download the applications or whatever the major applications which you feel these are the lifeline for your organization, so you those application test those application validity through this compatibility, validate them, and if you feel there is an issue with the new version, you can postpone the delay or delay the voice updates, or you can communicate with the users saying that you should not update your devices. So it's always better to enroll into a beta program and validate these app compatibilities and enrollment compatibilities and everything. Sometimes the enrollment device restrictions breaks because of the voice updates as well. I have seen those kind of scenarios as well. So it's always better to test it prior the voice release. Then after, let's say you have done the validation, you have ready for that, then it's always better to check what are the devices, how many devices are updated on a weekly basis or bi-weekly basis, and then take necessary steps to make sure your entire users or your entire device fleet are up to date with the OS. So the uh, best practice, as a best practice, you should have a your device estate should have a n and n minus 1 version. N as being the latest version. N minus 1 is the latest version minus 1. So let's say for Android, there will be because of the OEMs, different OEMs, the OS will be very lately pushed to the devices. So you can go with a 14 or 13. 13 would be the better versions to be on the. I mean, at least your device estate should be all the devices should be updated to Android 13. So that's how you manage the OS updates using Intune. Uh, any queries till now? That brings to the end of my session.